Hello, I'm back with another Codeforces problem. This time it's going to be a greedy problem. It's two arrays and swaps. Again, I'm going to be using Python. I'm going to be practicing for the USA competition this weekend. Today it's the second, um, 23rd of February, and the competition is just going to be this weekend, so I've done a little bit of a problem here. So I'm just going to tell you guys how I solved it. So let's read the problem. You're given two arrays, A and B. Both are consisting of n positive integers, and you're also given an integer k. In one move, you can choose two indices, one and I and j, and swap the two numbers which those indexes correspond to, and I and j can be equal or different. So it doesn't really matter what value they are. They can be different or equal. It doesn't really matter. And we have to find the maximum possible sum that we can make A, the first array, B, in under or equal to k moves. And yeah. So here we can check out the input. So let's just see this. We have 5, and then our n is 2, that's the length of the array, and then 1 is the maximum number of moves we can have. And then basically just repeats, so then the next one is 5 and 5, 5 length, and the maximum of 5. So let's take a look at the notes here. In the first case example, you can swap A, 1, and 4, so then you just swap those two numbers there. So basically, you swap this one with this, and then this becomes 3 and 1, and this becomes 4 and 2, so 6 is greater than 4, so that's how you get that sum, and it's basically the same thing, right? So here's my thinking on this, right? Like, for this problem, I think it's pretty simple. What you need to do is, sort both of the arrays, and you want to find the least possible value from array A and swap it with the greatest value from the second array. And like the basic way, like what I did was basically if the A value is less than the B value, like the first value, it's gonna be swap them, right? But what I had was I reversed the B list, and I also made the first array in regular fashion. So from least to greatest is A, and greatest to least is B. So like the indexes are still going to be the same, but one's going to be greater than the other, right? It's going to make more sense later on, but let's just switch to my code here. So we start off with creating our test cases, so we just do t equals input, and we also have our results list. This is where we're going to add our results into, so we can add onto them later. And then we're going to iterate through this list. So for I in range of t, that's how many test cases there are going to be, and here's where we write our code. So we make our n and k variables. We can just do this list map int, and then the input right here. Okay, so we can have n is equal to nk of 0, and then k is equal to nk of negative 1. So now that we have our variables, we also need to have our a and b. So a is equal to, we're going to be sorting this, so sorted, and then basically the same thing, so list map int, map this with int and split this. This is going to be the same for b, so I just copy and paste this, but we also have to add a key here, so we have to reverse this. So key equals, reverse equals true. There we go. So now A is going to be sorted normally. It's going to be least to greatest, and then B is going to be greatest to least. So now what we need to do is find those exact indexes, and we need to swap them. Okay, so we iterate through for I in range of k, because that's how many times, that's the maximum amount of times that we can iterate through and swap. And then here's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna define another variable which is called c, and I'm gonna make this to a of I. And the reason I do this is because when we the the way I'm going to swap them is to assign them to the other variable, but you can't assign, the one that's going to be assigned last is going to be like the different variable, so you want to have it like stored in a variable somewhere that you can access later on. Okay, so if, and then here's where we check if the a of I is less than b of I, because if it's not, then we don't add it, right? Because it's not going to work. But if it is, then we just swap them, so a of I equals b of I, and then b of I is equal to c, which is the old a of I. Okay, and that's basically how we're going to swap it, and then we're just going to add our result to our sum to the result, and then we're just going to print everything in the results. I in results prints I. Okay, so let's just test this out. I'm going to enter this input here. Let me just grab it. And okay, 5, and then everything else here. And so we get 6, 27, 39, 11, and 17. Let's look what the Codeforces problem has, and it is the same. So let me just refresh here. As you can see, I have gotten accepted right there. Pretty simple problem. I enjoyed this. It was pretty easy solve for me. I've just recently gone to solving these sort of array problems, and I've quite liked it so far, and hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later then.